Hello everyone, welcome back to Vacuum Tube. Today I am in the back room of my shop, so excuse the little messiness here and there, but today I have another box, and boy do I love receiving boxes in the mail. I mean, if you haven't caught on by now, 9 times out of 10 there's a vacuum cleaner inside. So with that, why don't we go ahead and get this unwrapped and take a look at what this could be. You can see got some very thick wrap here. Almost looks like they just wrapped this in a garbage bag of some sort. And I do apologize if I get interrupted. I will do my best to pause the video and restart it as needed, but I'm probably going to get interrupted. 'Tis the nature of the business. They did a really nice job. What? Oh my gosh. Is it just me, or have I been transported back to the early 2000s? That's right. My usual vacuum scouting on eBay led to me finding this. A brand new old stock Miele art. And if you're not familiar with the Miele art, this is really quite a quirky machine. It won a Red Dot Design Award in 2003, and this was marketed as a quick broom of sorts. And unfortunately, although it won, that award, it was kind of a flop for Miele. And from what I've been told and what I've heard, the main reason is because dealers really just didn't know how to sell them. So, I mean, what is this? This is, like I said, it's a quick broom, an electric broom of sorts. As you can see, the main machine is down here. The main benefit of that is you have less weight in the hand. And you also have a hose that stores in here with attachments on board. This is a bagged unit, and this is also a straight suction unit. So there's no rotating brush. And I think that's where a lot of people struggle to find out, who is this really for? This is really for someone who has mostly bare floors and some area rugs. And this was really not meant to be used as your main vacuum cleaner. This was really made to be an accessory to your existing vacuum cleaner. And a lot of times people, would have the Miele canister and then have this as sort of their, quick pickup option. So the variant that I have is the hot chocolate variant. I'm not exactly sure you can see that. Yes, you can. Hot chocolate, which is this sort of like golden brown finish here, and the handle's going to match that as well. Real quick, we got a packing slip as well. Just going to go ahead and take that off as well. Alright, well, rest in pieces packing slip. I don't know why they taped it when they taped it to the wrap or something. But that's alright, I guess. Why don't we unbox this and truly get a taste of vacuum cleaners back in 2003. See, this has been taped up more than once. I'm going to try best I can to preserve the box because these are no longer available, unfortunately. They were replaced by the Miele Quick Step or the H1 or the Swing H1, whatever you really want to call it. Basically, it has the exact same motor as the S7 U1 upright, which has also been discontinued and replaced with their cordless Triflex. And I guess now the Duoflex as well. So, oh man. So, you can see all that's inside here. You get Miele's famously small crevice tool. We get an upholstery tool with their bigger size lint pickers. It looks like you can also remove this little guard here. You cannot, unfortunately, do that on the newer style Miele's. We have a stub tube adapter and the holder itself. And this should just fit right on here, like so. And from the few videos I watched, if you attach this at a certain end of the wand, you don't actually need the adapter, or maybe for one of the tools, I'm not sure. I'll figure that out here in a moment. We have the owner's guide, a Type L bag. This bag is really, really small. I would say about the size as maybe an FJM bag for those who are familiar with the Miele. We have telescopic wand. As we can see, the rubber is rubbing off just from years sitting in the box. Handle is a little sticky, but yeah, you can see there's some just naturally where it rubbed off from years of sitting in the box. So, all right, and now we have the lower end of the wand handle assembly. This is where your hose is stored. It's a very small hose, and it basically stores inside itself, a lot like, you know, maybe a Haida hose or the Sipo X4, X7, whatever you're most familiar with. Then we have the actual machine. Now, this is actually, I haven't seen one of these in person at all, which I guess kind of tells you a little bit about my age. I guess I'm aging myself here, or maybe lack thereof. But I have never actually seen one of these in person. By the time I entered the industry, these were long discontinued and have just been left to a faint memory. And unfortunately not a beloved one at that. So, as you can see, this was really one of the bigger reasons why it had a hard time selling, was because it doesn't have a rotating brush, and dealers were sort of, for what I've been told, confused as to who this was for. We have the exact same caster wheels as what's seen on the S7 U1 upright, and we do have a very nice swivel neck here as well. This is a beautiful machine. It truly is a work of art, I guess. We have a true Miele swivel, or a Visselwerk, whatever you want to call that. We have cord rewind. Let me just test that real quick, because sometimes the springs can get a little stiff from just sitting in the box for a couple of years. This has been sitting for a couple of years, I guess. Actually, let me check the date code. Where is that? Might be on the inside. To get inside, you'll just press this button, and it's going to open. And then, yeah, there's a gasket, your bag, and a little channel here. And I'll go more in depth on how this all works later. Then press here. Okay. Yeah, so it looks like this was manufactured. Oops. in, I'm not sure if you can see that, but the third quarter of 2004. So, yeah, more than 20 years, almost 22 years. And at the end of the hose as well, we have a little, what looks like a crevice nozzle here, and then also a dust brush here, which is very stiff, I must say. Yeah, the world's tiniest dust brush. Reminds me of something you'd get out of like one of those cheapy little micro attachment sets. Don't ever use those, by the way. They're horribly restrictive and very ineffective. Yeah, so that just clicks in like so, and then this should also click in there. And then this is going to go right here. So this right here is how this clicks in. And then right up here, I'm not sure you can actually see that. So yeah, this is how you're going to remove the hose. Just pull this up and then this should come out. Of course, it's very, very stiff. So I'm going to be very careful. You push down and pull out your hose. And then push up. And there is a diverter valve that diverts the suction to the hose once you put the vacuum in the upright position. A lot like a Dyson, but this would prove to be, well, more reliable than the Dyson. You do have a cord clip here, so if you wanted to, you can, I guess, just keep the cord here so you don't have to bend over. They do, curiously enough, have an upper cord hook here as well with another cord clip. So I'm wondering if they made a version without the automatic cord rewind. Yeah, so that is quite curious. All right, well, real quick, I'm gonna go ahead and dust this off, and we'll give it a first use. Alrighty, so I went ahead and plugged in the Miele Art, and now we're gonna give it a test. So, what I was talking about with the hose and the diverter valve that's inside the machine. First of all, to turn it on, we have a foot pedal here and a release pedal here, and that's how you release the handle. This does actually maneuver quite nice. For something that's, longer this way, the swivel casters really help to maneuver it quite nicely. And as you can see, it does still go under most furniture. It'll have a pinch point kind of right at the top of the machine, but you can still reach under most things as well. And with the hose your handle that doubles as a wand, that should be also pretty nice to get under furniture and stuff. So first, the on button is right here, and the speed control on this works a little differently than other Miele products. So let's see. So right now, our full bag indicator is going to need to be adjusted. So right now there's suction at the hose. Now once I think it's one of those suction-based ones. Yeah, you can hear the suction being diverted down to the floor, and then gonna. This really kind of reminds me of the Lin House, the LS38. I have another video on that on the channel, just a little short as well. This maneuvers quite nicely, I must say. I have one of the better ones here. It does want to pick up the bigger conflict. Lift up the machine. This thing lies all over the place. I mean, there's no stopping point here. So that's nice. And then the speed control, what you do, so there's high and there's low. And you press here, long press to get it on its minimum setting, then long press it again to go back to maximum, and then of course clicking it once is going to make it so it turns on and off. Yeah, I'll try and make a full video of this later on once I've had some time to play around with it and do sort of, I guess, like, I don't know, a retrospective sort of review. But so far this is really cool, and oh, I already have a use for the dust brush, I guess. And dust this thing off. So why don't we do that real quick before we wrap up here. And there is very little suction here, so this is kind of restrictive. Plus, I'm guessing there's like a little tiny motor in here as well. It's a nice little dust press. I can see dusting off the keyboard or something. So, there we have it. That is the Art by Miele unboxing. Like I said, I'll try to do a review on this later on. But yeah, for now, thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up or comment and subscribe as well. That really helps us out. And yeah, stay tuned for more vacuum content coming soon.